Hey everyone, welcome to the Tarology33 channel. This is just a brief intro video to let you know what to expect from the channel, and we'll break it down with the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Starting with the who, I'm Mike. I've been doing astrology for 4 years now and tarot for a little over 3. As far as the what, I'll be posting general monthly videos for each of the 12 signs. When, well, my plan as of right now is that by the last Sunday of a given month, I'll have the videos posted for the upcoming month. As far as where, obviously here on the YouTube channel, and then I'll also have an Instagram page where I'll post on Mondays. That's going to be for a little bit more fun with tarot though, so you could check that out. As far as why, well, I've been noticing that there's a growing interest in both tarot and astrology, and I think that's awesome. They're both very useful tools. And I just actually want to show how the two tie in together very well. And that brings me to the how. So you see I have some cards here in front of me that I wanted to help illustrate that point with. So we have the Ace and the Page of Wands. So the Wands is the suit of fire. So the fire element is represented in these two cards. They don't represent a specific zodiac sign, just fire element in general. And then this, if you think about playing a game of blackjack, you have an ace, you could count it as a 1 or an 11. That's how I tend to view these two cards. This is just a higher vibration of the ace energy. Next we have the 2, the 3, and the 4 of wands. So these are my 3 Aries cards. This represents the first 10 degrees of Aries, this is the middle 10 degrees of Aries, and this is the last 10 degrees of Aries. So Aries is a cardinal fire energy. Cardinal energy is about action. You can see that energy playing out in this card. You have a man with a globe in his hand, kind of has that I want to go out and take over the world type of vibe to it. That's Aries energy we can all relate to. Next you have the 3 of wands, which mixes in some fixed energy. Fixed fire energy is associated with Leo. So it's saying, yeah, you could take over the world, but why not have the world come to you? You can kind of see that there with the ships coming in from a distance. And then you have the 4 of wands. So this is a mutable energy mixed in with that Aries energy. The mutable fire energy is ruled by Jupiter. So you could see that expansive celebratory atmosphere going on in this card. Next we have the Queen, the King, and the Knight of Wands. So each of these represent one of the fire signs to me. But as far as knowing which one is which, the example I like to give is, let's say you're playing a game of chess. So the queen on the chessboard, she has a lot of freedom of movement. She could go clear across the board with no restrictions. That's very much a cardinal energy. And this is my Aries card because of that reason. Next, if you think about the king on the chessboard, the king only moves a spot here, a spot there. You tend to not move the king unless you absolutely have to. So that's very much the fixed energy. And the fixed fire sign is Leo. So this is my Leo card. And then lastly, we have the Knight of Wands. So if you think about the knight on a chessboard, it seems like they're going 2 directions at once, right? They go a few spots forward, 1 spot to the left, 1 spot to the right. So that tends to represent the scattered energy of the mutable signs. Well, that's maybe a negative way to say it, but mutable signs are known to be 2 places at once, let's say, from time to time. So this is very much a Sagittarius card for me. And then I have 3 major arcana cards I wanted to take a look at. So we have the Fool. Now the Fool is a 0, and I think that's by design because it's saying it's not necessarily the beginning of the major arcana journey or the end. It's that in limbo period between the two. So that brings me to the number 1 card in the major arcana. That's the Magician. I view this as the South Node card. So for those of you who don't know, the South Node is said to be what you come into this life with already. So I also call this the Choose Your Weapon card because if you look, you could see all 4 suits are on the table. You have your swords, your pentacles, your cups, and your rods. So whichever one you picked, that would be your element that you were strong with coming into this life. And then we have the World card. So This I view as my North Node card. The North Node card is what the North Node rather is what you're supposed to move toward in this life. It's supposed to be your destiny, your soul contract. So if we look back at the Magician again, I view what he has in his hand there as the soul contract. And then I see that again when I look at the World card. That's the soul contract, and this is the diploma, if you will. This is the way of saying you've successfully completed the goal of your North Node destiny, and then you're free to start the journey all over again as the Fool. Alright, so that's just a general overview of what I mean as far as how you could see astrology playing out in each of the tarot cards. This isn't meant to replace the traditional definitions of the tarot cards at all. It's just an additional layer to add to it. So hopefully you found that helpful, and I'll see you guys in the general videos. Alright?